Chronicles of Akonis, Chapter 16, Changes in the Night. Battle has come to the town of Zagata. The heroes of Light's arsenal have been drawn into a conflict against the forces of evil, supposedly sent by the Lady. Striking a deal with the less intelligent but strong-hearted troglodytes, the party fights with all their fervor, with all the fervor they can muster against an unrelenting army. Just as the battle was met and the forces of light and dark collided, a new threat has made its appearance.
Well, Harmony, you're the tank. Go tank.
I'm gonna annoy the crap out of it by flying really high and then hitting it, and then flying back really high and hitting it, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a good time.
Oh, great. I'm gonna be used as a projectile then.
Alright, no need to roll initiative as we already did last session, so we will just pick up from the top of the round. So, with that, it is Leader's turn. If I can find his sheet.
Completely understandable.
There he is. I even have him labeled and everything. It's just, there's a lot.
Yeah, completely understandable.
Anyone see him on the battlefield?
Yeah, I see him.
Yeah, he's right in the middle of the lightning.
Gotcha.
Yep.
I'm really far away, it's hard to see. Okay. Thank you. Did the roll go through? I'm just not seeing it.
Not
that I see
I
it.
have yet to see it.
Oh. I maybe need to hit submit. That's probably good.
Nah.
There we go. Alright. That's very sad. Alright, yes. So, as the, you see, as you begin to sort of engage with the Ogoluth, you see coming from the distance a large lumberous creature. He appears very different from the Ogoluth, and as the troglodytes refer to him, a bone giant. You see a creature made of bone and sinew, come charging towards the group. For those of you who are behind Leader, you can see him sort of recognize the creature's appearance. But he takes his blade and he begins trying to cut his way through to the bigger creature.
Of course he does.
He runs through the storm to where none of you can see him any longer. Vinda.
Okay, how far away is that thing?
Well, you can use the fancy new measure we got now to see exactly.
Let's get out of my brain at the moment. It seems to be stuck. What? What is going on with this thing?
Attack with the pink lines.
Sorry, that was me. I didn't mean to. How do I get that off? I thought that was a distance check.
No, the distance check, I believe, is the little circle with the ruler, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
They changed how that looks. That's not. It just used to look like a ruler.
Yeah, now
Yeah, they changed it.
that's because it has the options for snap to center, snap to corner, or
Oh,
no
fancy.
snapping.
It's very fancy
Yep.
now.
Very fancy.
Oh, and you can hide it from other people too. Nice.
Yep.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, I could move forward a bit, I guess, and then hit it. Yeah, I think I will do that.
Okay, so what are you doing?
And the thing is apparently broken.
Alright, try again. Oh, unfortunate. So, Vinda, you fly up behind some of the troglodytes and you try to send a gust of powerful force energy into some of the Ogluth, but the creatures are just too small and it just passes right through them.
No, I was trying to aim for the big creature.
Oh, the creature. In that case, then, your force just gets swallowed into the electrical storm and loses power before it reaches him.
Whoops.
Gorm.
I reload and I fire my arrow. Or my bolt, rather. See, it's still within short range.
Which creature are you attacking?
Oh, sorry. I was pinging, but I was on the measuring thing.
Okay. You have stunts.
What?
You can kind of make it move.
But yeah, these stunts don't stunts have to like hit to do stunt things, or
Thought so.
also I am now blind to
yeah,
the
it does.
combat stunts.
Yeah, if you make a successful attack roll.
Okay. So it's only if you make it successful, because there are some stunts that don't really seem dependent on that.
Yeah, no, it's in the combat stunts thing. It says the combat stunt system is simple. If you make a successful attack roll and get doubles on any of the dice, you can perform one or more stunts in addition to dealing your normal damage.
Okay, good to know. It needs to be successful.
Yeah, I wouldn't see why the rapid reload would have to be a successful attack, but whatever. Them's the rules.
Them's the rules. That is true. All right, yeah. So you also fire an arrow in succession with Vinda, but like Vinda's spell, it just gets caught in the lightning, and you see some of the lightning from the storm just zaps off and strikes your arrow, and it just disintegrates mid-air as it's flying towards your enemy.
That's one bolt I'm not eating back.
Ari.
I'm going to take aim and attack this particular Ogre Luth that is in front of me.
Alright.
Or the group that is still in front of me.
Yeah, there are several Ogluths just running around, running past you. Unfortunately, that will not hit.
Okay.
So you try and snap, make a quick snapping attack with your dagger, but the presence of the large creature startles you for a moment, and you just barely nick one of the Ogre Luth, but not really enough to do anything. All right, Chief Odolith. Okay. Alright, Winter, you watched as Chief Odolith, although kind of still hobbling as he walks with his cane, moves surprisingly quickly. And he just strides past you, doesn't even look at you, just sort of keeps his eye on the battle, and just kind of just carefully walks to a little bit in front of you. And then you watch in the hand that is not holding his cane, a ball of lightning just forms and curls around his fingers before he releases it towards a smaller group of Ogluth who are surrounding another group of troglodytes.
Much power he have.
That's a pretty good roll. Okay, so that's going to be 10 points of damage to each of them. Alright, and that is going to be his turn. And then it is all the troglodytes' turn. Okay. So... Alright, so... each of the ones next to one of the Ogluths is going to make an attack.
Everybody attack.
Alright, and so 9 of them hit.
That's rather terrifying.
Well, remember, it's group fight versus group
Yeah.
fight, so that there's actually a lot more going on there than what we see. Makes for big numbers, but there's more going on than what we realize.
Yeah, it's still terrifying.
We were fighting them, there would be like 120-ish trogs at this point.
Okay, yeah. So the troglodytes double down, and the rest of the back end of the army plows in, and they just plow through the Ogaluth. They slaughtering a bunch of them. You see scattering of purple blood, smattering here and there. It's just a chaotic display of lightning, crackling, blood and sinew being spread everywhere, and swords and claws and biting all happening at once. It's very chaotic and very difficult to make out who's doing what, but you can see that it appears that the troglodytes have been making progress. Jeffrey.
Jeffrey is going to move up. But Jeffrey's going to do a bite attack.
Alright, go for it. That will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
I'm sorry, remind me how I roll damage?
It should be the next dice button next to your attack.
I'm sorry, that cut out. Next dice, next to what?
Next to your attack. So for your weapon, you have 2 dice buttons, and the dice button after your attack.
I got you. Got it. Yep.
Nice. Curiosity.
I'm gonna fly over here and use my water whip on these enemies right here.
Okay. That will definitely hit. And you got major stunts.
Wow, that's insane.
And he rolled max damage.
Yeah, for
Wait.
6 stunt points, you would probably want to do Mighty Blow or Spell, whichever one it applies. And then maybe Pierce Armor or something.
Did these guys have one?
No, wait. You can't do that one.
You can always go for a lethal blow.
Yeah. I guess I'll do Lethal Blow, and the Water Whip also lets me use Disarm for 1 stun point instead of 2. So can I do that too?
Or you,
Yeah, if you want.
There's also lightning attack.
Lightning attack lets you attack 1 additional time, so it might not be quite the same as lethal blow.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
in
because
this
I only roll a
case-
1d6 for an attack, so if I get 2d6, that's better than just doing 1 additional attack. I mean, it doesn't have the bonus, but... Okay, so for Disarm, you and your opponent must each make an opposed attack roll.
Okay. An opposed attack roll?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you definitely win.
Okay, so the weapon lands 1d6 plus, I think, intelligence for the water whip. Squares away.
Yeah. Okay. So, you fly into a group of troglodytes who are pressing down onto quickly whittling down group Ogluth. You take your water whip, which just looks like a waterfall, in your hand, and you swing it around your head and then come crashing down. You kill about 3 or 4 of them in your wake. A few others, as you bring the whip back up, you snap the weapons out of their hands, and several of them, defenseless, starts kind of scrambling and take out their large claws and begin using those. You see that the troglodytes who kind of see what you've done, they put their backs to you in almost a defensive way to kind of keep you from harm from the majority of the battle. Well done. Harmony.
Alrighty. I think I'm going to try to distract the bone giant scary thing. Yay for me. This is gonna go
Don't make
great.
it go away. If it goes any further away, I can't shoot.
I'm just gonna try and keep it over here.
That will just hit.
Okay, so 2 stunt points. Let's see. I will do... Pierce Armor.
Okay.
That's my stun. And then that'll be my turn.
Is the weapon you're using magical?
No, I'm using my spear.
Okay.
It's another one of those where I just start stabbing at it with my broken sword, isn't it?
You swing around the head of the creature with your spear, angling to come down on it. And as you do, you can see pieces of like a rib cage and coming up in its chest area. There also seems to be a large rib cage, perhaps not its own, jammed in its shoulder like a big shoulder pad, and a small skull for like a head. And it seems to be sort of what holds this creature together seems to be some sort of like gelatin substance. And as you bring your spear down upon it, your spear just kind of seems to roll off. You can maybe chip a little bit off, a little bit of ooze or blood or whatever this substance is off the top of its head, but the spear seems to almost be sort of directed away from doing damage to the creature as it continues to barrel towards your friends.
Oh, yay.
Winter.
Okay, Winter's going to go after the big main guy. Alright. And she's going to use Ray of Flame.
What's the distance on Ray of Flame?
70 feet.
Okay.
Okay, never mind. She fails once again.
Hang on. What? You only need one more?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then that will succeed. I will use the thing.
Your 1 point.
I have two.
Okay.
So
I thought you rolled a
I'll
1.
use one of them. No.
Okay.
So it does succeed?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so then what's the damage on that?
Just 1 moment. Sorry, I was trying to get to it.
Okay. So, Winter, once again, you begin to create your fire, and there's a small little bit of doubt as you're doing it, and you can feel that doubt is creeping into your ability to cast a spell. And you start, it starts fading in your hand, and you start panicking once again. Not again, your spell's gonna fail again, and your friends need you. But in that moment, Vinda, you see Winter begin to struggle, and you rush to her, and you touch your hand on her shoulder, giving her just a little bit of encouragement, just a little bit of a friendly fairy smile. And Winter, it's enough to make you realize you can't fail, and the doubt goes away. And you release a torrent of flame over the mounting clouds of lightning and storm, over the large chaotic battle. And Harmony, you watch as the creature's belly becomes engulfed in flame. Alright, good job. However, it is the Bone Golem's turn. How far are you flying, Harmony?
Since I'm flying and not circling, I'm just 3 yards off the ground, so he can definitely hit me. I'm assuming
Okay.
it's fairly large. Yeah, that hits. Wait.
Both those hit?
Yes. Well, that's scary.
Alright,
Those are
use...
two separate attacks, right? So then,
Yep,
my armor gets applied to both, okay.
correct. So, you suffer 28 points of damage as the creature, as you sort of just bounce your spear off the creature's head. It's enough to enrage it, and it takes its spear and its giant armed mace, which doesn't seem to be really... He doesn't really seem to be holding it as much as it seems to just be his arm. And he takes it, and he smashes back and knocks you across the side. And then he lifts it back up and smacks you up from the bottom, hitting your feet and hitting half of your leg, catching you off guard. And then continues to move. Bramble.
How far is my grenade distance, do you know?
Your grenade all grenades are missile weapons with a short range of 4 yards, which I believe is 20 feet, and a long range of 8 yards, which is
Well, if I'm within 40 feet, is that close enough?
sorry, I was wrong. No, 8 yards is 25 feet, and 4 yards is 10 feet. So, for a long range, you need to be within 25 feet in order for it to hit.
Ouch. Okay. Well, I'm gonna move up.
Okay.
Gonna check something here really quick. That says that would put me in within 20 feet of him.
Yep. So you can drill it.
Would everybody be out of the radius, or no?
That depends on what you do. How well you roll.
Okay. Okay. Alright,
So-
well,
You need to roll a dexterity grenades test, and you need to beat an 11.
okay. But I have to use the minor action of ready for a grenade, so I ready.
Well, you already moved, so
Oh, so I can't do both?
No.
Okay.
you get one minor and one major.
Okay. Well, then I guess I will just attack the creature for this round.
Okay. Okay, that will hit. And you do have stunts.
Okay, I'm going to use piercing or pinpoint attack, which allows me to once per round add 1 die 6 to your damage if your dexterity is higher than your opponent's.
That's baked into the rogue class anyway, so if you're...
oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to... Sorry, I meant piercing armor.
Okay.
Sorry. That's the one I meant, which I'm not sure what that does.
Piercing armor means that it halves the armor rating of the creature by half.
Okay, so I'll use that.
Okay.
And then you have 3 more stunt points to use. You could use it on Mighty Blow to add an additional d6 to your attack.
That's what I would recommend.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, that would be damage. Unless you want to do anything else.
No, let's go with that.
Okay, so roll your attack, or roll your damage, and roll another d6. Okay. Is your bow magical?
No.
Okay. Okay. So you let off an arrow, and you watch the arrow sink, or almost, it seemed to sink into the creature, one of the creature's gelatinous arms, but arrow doesn't seem to go in very far, and it doesn't even seem to, the creature doesn't even seem to notice the attack as it continues to barrel forward, getting closer and closer to Eretheus. Okay, it is now the Ogluth's turn. One of them is dead, so first they all take 2d6 penetrating. It's 8 points of damage to each. Okay. And now they're going to make their attack. Okay. Alright, Barry, that last attack is to you.
Uh, 16? Yeah, that'll hit.
You take 5 points of damage as one of the Ogloos strikes at you, running towards other creatures. Only 8 of their attacks hit. They are not doing as well. Okay. You watch as lightning, as the Ogloos move, lightning just strikes several of them just outright dead. As they several of the others dodge these lightning bolts as they begin to kind of swarm single groups of troglodytes. They don't appear to be able, seeing as they're mostly just armed with their claws and teeth, they don't seem to be able to do as much damage to the troglodytes, but they can swarm. And as they swarm, you see at least one group of troglodytes that were already lost just get swarmed and just destroyed outright. Several of the others manage to weather the attacks, but they do seem to be a bit more organized now that they're moving through. Leader. He's gonna go and attack. Okay. Okay. So with that, Leader is going to make a lightning attack with his stunt. After he does damage. 15. Okay, and then he's going to make a second attack. Nice. Okay, so those of you close enough, you can see Leader emerges from the lightning cloud. His two-handed sword, he brings up above his head and he swings down hard, and then he brings it back up and he swings at the kneecap. But his attacks don't really seem to do much damage. It seems to only sort of chip away at the little pieces of this giant creature, this giant monster that is just barreling through and kicking as it's chomping, as it's just marching on through the sand, seemingly unimpeded by the difficultness of the dunes that you've been wading through. Vinda.
Okay, I'll move forward again, first of all. There. And I will try Ray of Force again. Remember this time that I have rewrite. And the thing broke.
Go again. Nice job. Okay, so he needs to roll stamina attack. Will that succeed?
Yeah, he'll just take the die, which was a 5.
Okay. You release, you try again, and this time getting yourself in position away from the storm. Your spell succeeds. You watch the ray of wind-like energy go through and pierce through to the creature, but it only seems to sort of give him a light breeze, as it seems your spell is entirely enveloped by his armor and does nothing.
Well, that's not good.